Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine, and I have a little what's on my desk today. Just sort of a little visit. Thought I thought I'd do a little episode, and we could catch up. I really haven't done a little visit in a while. I did a flip through on Monday. Thank you to everyone who enjoyed the flip through for Betty. She's going off to her new home. So thank you for that. And thank you as well if you're new here from visiting Diane Hubert's channel. That was lovely of Diane to mention me in one of her recent videos. She was talking about a journal I made that I fondly refer to as Harriet. And so it was lovely. She put a link here to my channel. And which brings me to, if any of you frequent here and you aren't already subscribed, boy, it would be wonderful if you don't mind clicking on subscribe. And you don't even have to click the bell necessarily, but if you could click subscribe and subscribe, once I can get to 1,000 subbies, I'll be able to do live videos. You can't do it until you have 1,000 subscribers. So I'm over 800. Thank you, everyone. Yay! And once I can get to 1,000, I'd love to be able to do live videos. Maybe I wouldn't mind so much doing some live work on camera if I just sort of get to it and turn on the camera. And if you feel like watching, fine. And if you don't, you can, go on to someone else's. I don't know. It would be a nice little option. And right now it's not an option until I get to 1,000. So think about it. If you're not already a subscriber, I hope that you would take a second and just click down on subscribe and help a girl out. Anyhow, so little visit today. Yesterday, hubby and I, it was a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day. Actually, it was quite hot, but I didn't mind it. I find the older I get, the less the heat bothers me. I'm slowly turning into my parents. So we went up north to a little town north of us called Fowlers Corners. How's that for a cute name? And Fowlers Corners is so tiny, it really is mostly only an intersection that has a gas station and a donut shop. And that's pretty well it for Fowlers Corners. Except they have a really cool place also. It's a little bit further down the road, but apparently it's considered Fowlers Corners, called the Craftworks at the barn. And it's a big old barn, and the downstairs floor is antiques. And the upstairs floor is booths that crafters can rent out booths and sell the beautiful things that they create. And there's also furniture, like Amish furniture and soaps and things like that. It's a really cool place. And anyhow, I follow them on Facebook, and they had announced on their Facebook page that they had hand sanitizer, and lots of it, because a local distillery was making hand sanitizer and provided them with a lot. So I said to hubby, let's head up there, because I've had no luck finding hand sanitizer anywhere. I've had no trouble we got toilet paper, no problem. Even wet wipes, sanitizing wipes for surfaces and that, I haven't had any problem finding those. But, Purell kind of stuff, no luck whatsoever. Fortunately, my husband and I really are quite germaphobe, and we have just tons and tons of the little bottles, because when we fly or travel, we always have Purell in our purse and in the glove compartment of the car, or he's got it in his pocket. We just always do, but that's what we've had to resort to during this pandemic, is using up all our little travel size bottles, and we're slowly coming to an end of those. So we thought, it's a beautiful day, let's head up to Fowlers Corners. And so, of course, I love wandering through the antiques section. I didn't find much. I was really hoping to find some laces and maybe some old fabrics, or even tablecloths, or fabricy kind of things that I could cut up, pillowcases, that sort of thing. But I didn't have any luck in that area, but I did find a couple of books. So I thought I'd share with you the two little books, and they were a very fair price. I didn't mind paying what the person asked, and especially, I mean, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? And it's huge. Look at the spine. It's so gorgeous. I cannot wait to make this into a journal. It's so pretty. Oh, I've mostly just been patting it when I brought it in the door. It just, it's so nice. So it's, I forget what year it is. I think it's in the 40s. I think this is, 47. I had a feeling. So it's not a whole lot as far as the kind of illustrations that I like. It's got a bit of some black and white photos. So these aren't too bad. But the paper is kind of glossy. But I mostly wanted it for this cover and for that spine and for the size. I'm really loving this size lately for making journals. That's probably going to be an 11 signature journal. This will be one of my big bruisers that I've been really enjoying lately. So I will be pulling this apart. It's got some pretty old vintage photos in it, which is something for the 40s to start putting color photos into a book. It's lovely. So this will, oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, beetles, the lifespan of beetles. Of the Japanese beetle. Oh boy. Oh, that was loud. So I got the Woman's Home Companion Garden Book. I'm very happy to have that. I've already cleaned it up a bit. It was a little bit grimy. So I have cleaned it up, and I was really careful to do that because sometimes if you go in right away with, wet wipes or whatever, and it's too late to find out that you're pulling up the ink from the cover. And then I just found this. I've been wanting an old dictionary for a while of a decent size, not too big and not too little. Hold on, let's take that off. And this one's nice. I like when they've got some little illustrations in them. And it's a nice size, and the pages are already a lovely color. They're a nice creamy color with a little bit of red on the edge. I just love that. I love when there's just little illustrations. So I was happy to get this. I will be taking this apart so that I can put these in as, include them in signatures. And the paper is in lovely condition still. I'm not sure what year this is. I think this is 1960s. I believe. Oh, 59. Okay, so close enough. 59 was a good year. So I was happy to find this yesterday. And in addition, we got 2 great big bottles of hand sanitizer. So it was a good trip, and we enjoyed some sunshine, and my brother and my sister-in-law went along, so we sort of got to have a visit because we stood 6 feet apart and waved and put our masks on, and in we went. So, and it was nice to support this little business. They announced on Facebook that they're open and to please come up and, well, basically, please come up and spend your money, which we were happy to do. I didn't spend a lot, but I got, I also got a welcome mat for our front door. Anyhow, so it was a little visit. I thought I'd show you what I've been working on. I'm actually going to get started on 2 journals sort of simultaneously, and then I'll pick one to finish, and then I'll finish the next one afterwards. Just for some reason, I feel like being able to work on one while one dries and switch back and forth again. I often do that, and I hadn't done it lately. So I'll talk about this one first. This one has been on my shelf for a while, and I'd actually already been using it to pull pages from for other journals. It's a book on Gilbert and Sullivan plays. And as I said, with the garden book, I really enjoy working with this size of a book lately. I love doing a nice big writer's type journal. And this one was sorely in need of help. It was very inexpensively made at the time. This was actually cracked right down the spine here, as you can see. You can see the line that's still there. So I really had to go in and put in a nice new curved spine on it, which I did. And that's really nice and solid now. I'm very happy with that, and it's all held in place with some it's this new unbleached cheesecloth that I have that I am just loving lately working with. It feels really nice. It's very light, but it still feels very sturdy, and this little book is going to have quite a lifetime ahead of it to enjoy. I think I found the owner, Edith Wilde. I think I was able to locate her, but that was actually quite a popular name. Oh, here we are, Edith Wilde. So I can't say for sure if that's actually the woman I found is actually her or not. I love when I can find the previous owner, but as a genealogist myself, a lay genealogist, we really like to find several sources to confirm if we have found the right person that we've been looking for. And I just don't, other than this little tiny bit of information, I don't have anything else that would confirm that I in fact have found the right Edith Wilde that I think owned this book. So say for example with Mr. Snook's book, he gave us the extra information of his location where he was living, like precisely, even in a city the size of Toronto, we were able to know what church he was attending and what the size of his library indicated that he had money because he donated almost 400 books to this church. So that's quite a bit of money to have in the 1920s to be able to just donate 400 books. So he was comfortable, and I was able to find him quite easily. Anyhow, so this book, you know what? I've got plans for this book. For a year now, I have been drooling over the commonplace book that Nick the Booksmith made for herself last year. I guess it was a year ago. I'm hoping that my camera shows up this picture. For those of you who follow Nick the Booksmith, if you recall this book, that she made this for her own personal use as a commonplace book. And I have been drooling over that spine. Now, those are false signature threads. She explains in the video these threads. She just sewed them on purely to give drama to the spine. And that's my plan as well for this one. I've decided that this is going to be sort of the pinkish red version of Nick's book here. And so I am going to be trying my hand at using some gilding wax to put some bands on here. And then I'm planning on putting in signature threads just onto the spine. So onto this part. But then I will be going in with a hidden hollowback bookbinding method to put the text block into it. So hopefully I will have enough courage to do this on camera so that you can see my plans for how I plan on accomplishing this. But I just really think that I could pull that off, and I think it would look really nice. I toyed with just laying down some lace over top of that. Do I have any handy here? Okay, imagine that this is flat lace. This is just a snippet. Imagine if it's flat. Hold on, you out of the way. Because this split was bothering me where it had cracked itself in half. And it's not, although it's not cracked in half anymore, there was just nothing I could do about that dent. So then I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll just run some lace down the spine. And that certainly would look pretty. But Nick's threads have just been calling to me for a year. I just think that, see, I even thought about just running lace down that spine. But I think I want the drama of the signature threads. So I'm going to give it a try. What does it hurt, right? No guts, no glory. Go big or go home, and all those other, if you can't bark with the big dogs, get off the porch sort of thing. So that's my plans for Gilbert and Sullivan. And then I had so much fun playing with Betty that I'm going to give Grimm's Fairytales a try. This one's in way worse shape than Betty was. And actually, that's what I'm going to work on today. I'm just going to get started taking this apart and getting a look at what's inside and what's ahead for me, because as you can see, it's really falling apart. Betty was not this bad off. I could still, if you follow my Instagram, you saw a picture that I used. I held up the Betty's cover to the window because you could literally see down both shoulder sides. Well, this one, I wouldn't even be able to do that. It's in such sad shape. So I'm going to pull it apart. I've tried to find a publication date for this book, and it's by a publisher from Chicago, Conkey. And Conkey was notorious early in its publishing days of not putting a date of publishing. But Conkey published a series of books this size in this shade, like brown with dark brown inks, sort of a sandy color brown with the dark brown inks. And apparently they were published in about the 1890s. And from what I've seen of this book, this definitely is screaming 1890s. It's in very, very sad shape. The paper is very crackable, but it has some really pretty little illustrations in it that I'm really looking forward to giving them a new life because it's in such bad shape. I love this about this book. It says, with illustrations in colors. Well, the cover, yes, it's in color. And then there's one beautiful illustration in the front that's in color. And yeah, that's it. So all the illustrations in colors. No, it should have said with an illustration in color. But it is cute. But as you can see here, no publication date. So the best that I will be able to say someday when Grimm's Fairytales goes to a new home is that approximately the guesstimated publishing date is around the 1890s. I tried to find the little owner of the book. It was owned by William Webster in Salem, Ontario. Unfortunately, there are about back in the and early 1900s, there were about 5 different Salem, Ontarios. Because they were in different counties, they could get away with all having the name Salem. So this is again one of those situations genealogically where I have nothing else to go on. So William Webster, I tried, but all kinds of William Websters came up in all 5 locations. So I'm not going to be able to find who. Little William, you will remain a mystery, but we will make your book beautiful again. So today we're just going to pull this apart and I want to see the guts inside. I want to decide how I'm going to go about restoring this, because I do think I want to go back, take it back to this size. This is a nice size for a little book. Looks to be about a 1-inch spine. So that's fine. That would give me, 4 signatures, which is lovely. And so I'm just going to have to glue that down carefully. So as ever, I usually start with the back and I just sort of pull it apart here, and it looks like the only thing left is the gauze. I probably could just pull on it and rip it, but poor Mr. Grimm here, he's really feeling his age. I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing here, but I don't want to cut myself with this knife in my efforts to let you see. Look at that. It's only being held by those two little bands of the folded fabric. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's do this side. So as ever, you can pull your cover right off to the side, and that way you won't cut anything more than what you want. There we go. All right, text block and sad cover. Hello, it's got a window, air conditioning. So this is our Brothers Grimm is in grim circumstances. I think what I'm going to be doing is I've got some fabric here that's a similar color. I love this fabric. I'll be so sad when I run out of it. It's such a nice, it's neutral tones, but it's got a little bit of flowers on it, and I just love it. It's my favorite one for binding in text blocks. But I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is use some of this fabric in behind, put a little bit of cardstock in to give this a little bit more oomph, and then I'm going to put this in behind and just glue it all down. And then I do think I'm going to shabby chic it, because there's just no way to make a book in this sad a shape pristinely beautiful again. And because of that, I think I need to embrace the grunge and really go with it and just make this pretty in that way, by embracing how ugly it is, that it will be beautiful. Let's see. This is just falling apart. It's so soft and mushy. Wow. Hold on. Oh, that's the whole thing. Oh boy, I think I'm going to have to go at this little bit by little bit until I can just get whatever's left of this crummy, old, mushy cardstock and get it out, so that I will be able to re-glue this onto something stronger. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So we'll see. I think that's where I'm going to end this, right here, and I'm going to get started on that. So yeah, you know what? I think that's it. I think I'll end it here. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with me. Again, if you're not already subscribed, please think about consider hitting that subscribe button, so that I can make it to 1,000. Tell your friends. And that way I could maybe start working on YouTube going live. Great. Well, I hope everyone is continuing to stay safe and healthy. And if you're not well, I hope that you are on your way to health. Take care and stay safe. Bye, everyone.